Greetings, conquerors. Welcome back. It's good to see you all again. Thank you for coming back. Well, are you ready? Let's begin our journey to get to the finish line. As I said before in the preview, all we're doing is simply providing an alternative, or just present a couple of options to the road to getting where we want to go. Here's the thing. It's important to me that not only that you get or we get there, but it's also important to me that the journey be a good journey. I realize there will be some stresses. I realize there will be some hardships. I realize there will be some setbacks, and maybe a failure or two while we're just trying to figure out the best ways to do things. But that still doesn't mean we can't enjoy our journey. So first thing we're going to talk about today, and this is going to be very brief because I don't want you spending a lot of time sitting in front of a computer or on your phone watching me. I want you to be living your life. So let me just take up a little bit of your time, just a drop of your time, and then go on back to your life. Do what you want to do. All right, here we go. In this first video, this first step is entitled Deal With Me. Not deal with you, but deal with me. Okay, so one of the things I've always wondered about, I know a lot of people sort of in the corporate world, or in corporate ministries, or in just situations where they do counseling sessions and things like that. And there's always an evaluation period based on someone else's schedule. And it's always either us evaluating someone else's progress, or it's either someone else evaluating us. So my question has always been, why don't we take the time to do periodic self-evaluations? Why don't we take the time to just sort of sit down, take a good look at ourselves and evaluate ourselves? Because here's the thing, some of the problems that other people see in us, we might actually see ourselves if we just take the time to look at them. Now, I ain't attempting to say anybody's a terrible person. Not attempting to say that anybody's trifling or anything like that. I mean, you might be, but I'm not saying it. What I am saying is, let's take a moment in this first step, in this first video, to do a self-evaluation. Let's just do that. So this is what I want you to do. I want you to take a blank piece of paper. In the center of the page, you can use a notepad or copy paper or whatever you have available to you. You can even do it on your tablet or your computer if you like. But in the center of the page, I want you to write down a line. I want you to draw a line down the center. On one side, I want you to write down my personality traits. That's my personality traits. On the other side, I want you to write down where I want to go. Okay? My personality traits on one side. On the other side, where I want to go. Okay, so what are we doing here? All we're doing is we're going to spend some time writing down our personality traits. All of them. The good, the bad, the ugly, the trifling, if that applies. You know, everything about ourselves that make us who we are. Are you a procrastinator? Are you all passionate and you're not a mechanic? In other words, are you an idea person? But when it comes to actually physically putting a plan together to do it, you might not have the discipline to do it. Whatever the issue is, whatever the circumstance, whatever it is, just go ahead and write it down. Now, I have to be clear about something. If you're not honest, I didn't say that right. If we are not honest with ourselves, all right, we're going to mess it up. We're going to mess up the whole thing before we get started. So on this side, write all of it down, everything that you can think of. Just take the next couple of days and just focus on you. If you're a person that prefers to cuss somebody out from time to time, if you're a person that decides it's better to just get up in somebody's face because you demand that you be heard, whatever that is, just write it all down. Okay? On the other side of the page, I want you to write down exactly where you want to be, where you want to go. What is it that you want to accomplish? Is it you want to be a millionaire within a certain amount of time? Is it you want to expand the company that you already own? Is it you want to move up in the corporate ladder? Is it you want to actually leave a company in order to start your own? If it's your parenting that you're questioning, is it your manhood or your womanhood? Whatever it is, whatever you want to be, wherever you want to go, whatever the better you is, write that down on this side. And I want you to just keep writing. Just keep writing until you fill up a couple of pages, all right? And then once that's done, I want you to take a very close look at both sides. Okay, take an honest look at both sides. Okay, so the question becomes, okay, after I've done that, Riley, what am I supposed to do? That'll be in the next video. Just for now, I need you to focus on you, your personality traits, and where you want to go. Just write it all down. I need you to be able to see everything in front of you, and then when we come back, we'll get into the next step. Look, I'm looking forward to, and I'm extremely excited about what's about to happen in all of our lives. And let me be clear about something. I'm trying to get there with you. All right, so I'm not standing from a position of being at the finish line and I'm just sort of waiting on you. No, we're gonna get there together. Because some of the bad that you might have in yourself, I might have some of the same problems. Some of the issues that you face, I might face the same thing. Listen, I get tired, just like everybody else. I become a little, my strength gets a little low, just like everybody else. So what I'm saying is, we're gonna get there together. You and I will get there together. There's a scripture that I really enjoy. It's Romans verses 12. It's not true. It's Romans chapter 12, verses 1 and 2. Particularly verse 2. In this text, it says, be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. And don't worry, I'm not about to start preaching or anything, but that text is very significant to me, because what the text is trying to say is, don't conform or dumb yourself down or just settle or just decide that this is all I have available to me, so this is just all I'm gonna do. We grew up in the projects, so that's how it's supposed to be. We grew up broke, so that's just how it's supposed to be. My father's an abuser. My mom is crazy. So that's just automatically what needs to be. That's not true. Because the other part of that text says, be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. So a lot of the problem that we face, it's because of how we think about it. It's because of how we view it in here. If we begin to change our thinking about our circumstances and about ourselves, the circumstances around us will begin to change. See, here's the thing. Once you realize you ain't got to put up with certain things, that changes everything. Once you realize you don't have to stay in the basement of that company. Once you realize that you don't have to work for people all the time. Once you realize an education is just about you getting up and going to get educated. Once you realize that whatever system around you doesn't have to always apply to you, that changes everything. So this is what I want. I want you to take a look at that text if you have some time. And I want you to take a real good look at your thinking. How do you view your life? How do you view yourself when you get up in the morning? What do you see? Who is looking back at you in that mirror? And just take a little time and just try to alter your thinking a little bit. Instead of thinking you're not good enough, change that a little bit. Instead of thinking that you have to stay in certain situations because maybe no one else will want me, just think of that a little bit differently. If you think that this is all the money I'm ever gonna have, and this is just the way it's gonna be, just try altering that just a little bit. There again, don't put any more stress or any more pressure on yourself. Just look at it a little bit different. And here's the thing. The great news about all of this is I will see you at the finish line.